Hello once again everyone, Original Blood Ice back, and yes, it's time for another video. As I had said in my last video, I had a few planned. This is the first one I had to do, and I've been meaning to do it for a few days now since, what's it been, a week or so since I beat the wonderful 101, and so, of course, here we go with my review. So, first of all, let's start with the pros, of course. The good things about the game, right off the bat, the story. That's obviously it's the best part of the game, in my opinion. Hands down, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Up next is the art style. It really reminds me of, like, even when I first saw the trailers for the game, I thought, you know, this reminds me of 1990s cartoons, the good old days, when cartoons weren't shit. So, that's definitely a plus. I like the whole cartoony art style. I like the, like when there's a scene in the game where red and blue are beating each other up and you see like their heads bouncing and everything, and I just like that humor. Which brings me to actually the next point, which is the humor in the game. The story had great humor with the different characters, with blue, pink, and green, and red mainly. But whether it was green always eating, whether it was green flirting with pink and then pink bitching at him and shutting him down and threatening him, or whether it was blue trying to be a badass but kind of miserably failing and being a clumsy person or whatever, or red trying to take over, or always going over the top, introducing the enemy whenever he showed up. He'd be like, well, if it isn't Prince Fork and blah 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 blah, or heir to the whatever throne or whatever, and literally every fight he has to introduce the bad guy. But the humor it's very good, it's very funny, so that's definitely a plus. The cutscenes. I like the cutscenes, and I mean that's not something you usually would talk about with a game. You'd be like, "Oh, the cutscenes were something that make it good," but I mean I really did. It reminded me, like, I was thinking if they had changed the Wonderful 101 and didn't make it a game, but instead they had made it into an anime, I think it would have actually had a bigger success as an anime than as a game. So, just an idea. Maybe they could do both. Maybe they could turn it into an anime afterwards. You know, some point down the road, like how there's going to be a Bayonetta anime. So we'll see about that. And then the last pro I have is the characters. They were designed well enough. The personalities all blended well with each other, and each of them brought something new to the group. You had, you know, Red, who starts off the beginning as being appointed the leader, but no one really wants to listen to him. Mainly Blue, really. You got Blue, who's trying to be a badass, but he's kind of clumsy and always tries to be a lone wolf and do everything himself. You got Yellow, the Russian guy, who's kind of, what's the word? Kind of like a shy type person, I guess. You have Wonder White, who's a samurai. You got Pink, who's like a fashionista who falls in love with the bad guy. You got Green, who just likes to eat, and more eat. Or eat more, I should say. Wonder Black, who's just playing his 3DS throughout the whole game. So they all work and bring something new to the game, or to the group. So let's get into the cons now, the bad things that I didn't like about it. Starting off strong here with the gameplay, unfortunately. Whenever I was playing, I was really not enjoying it too much. There were certain moments where I enjoyed it, but for the most part I was just wanting it to get on with the story so I could see the next cutscene. I was just like, oh, what happens in the story? I want to know more, I want to know more. But yeah, when I was playing, I was just kind of like, and if you watch my playthrough, which is on my gaming channel, you'll tell, like, a lot of the time I'll be like, oh, I hate this game, I hate this, and blah blah blah, so forth and so on. Up next for the cons is the turtle enemies. If you've played the game, you'll know who I'm talking about, the giant metal turtles, robots or whatever, and you mainly have to use the Russian guy, Wonder Yellow's hammer, to damage them. They are my least favorite enemy in that game. I just did not like them, and every time they showed up I was just like, oh fuck, not these guys again. Didn't enjoy them, didn't like them at all, just no. Getting lost in the gameplay, this kind of ties back in with the gameplay, but a lot of the times I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? There's 1,000 things going on at once, and like I'd be like, where's my guy? I don't even see him out of all 100 other characters on there, and I have to, like, you know, take 2 or 3 seconds to actually locate my guy. What else? Platinum Games themselves, unfortunately, is a con in this game. They went way, way, way beyond what they needed to do. There's going you know, beyond what you should do, you know, and showing off extra effort in a game and going the extra mile. But these guys went an extra, you know, 100 to 1,000 miles. But it just was way beyond what they needed to do. For example, the bosses, not all of them, but some of them, took forever to beat. They'd make you think, oh, I won. Yes, thank God. Nope, never mind. He's still alive. And then you'd have that same reaction on one boss like 3 times. And the final boss, he was the worst of it all. Like, he was the most ridiculous boss I've ever fought in my 18 years of gaming. It was just ridiculous. It took me an hour and a half. The second last episode of the series was an hour and a half, and all I did was fight him and beat him. I mean, granted that like 20 minutes of that or whatever, I didn't know what the fuck to do, and I was kind of wasting time. But it was ridiculous. Oh, that's something I should remind or mention before I forget about it again. Is a lot of the times, like the puzzles or something, they don't hold your hand at all, which I don't really have a problem with. Except normally they would at least give you a hint, but some of the times you wouldn't know what the fuck to do. But anyway, the final boss took forever, and every time I was like, yes, finally, I fucking beat him, I blew him up, he's gone. Then surprise, he's a fucking Death Star, and you're like, are you serious? And then you blow that up or you stop that, and then surprise, now he's a robot, and you're like, are you serious? Go away. I'm done with you. I don't want to fight you anymore. Like in that final episode, or second last one, I was just like, I don't even care to defend the Earth anymore. Blow it up already. Like, you're not even worth it. So that was definitely a con for me. So overall, if there is a sequel to this game, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to pass. I'm not even 100% sure if I'm going to get Bayonetta 2, due to it being even more crazy and hectic than the Wonderful 101 is. I might get it. I might not. I think it'll only be if I do get it, it'll be the second rated M game I play on my channel, BioShock 1 being the first. Or BioShock 3, I should say, or Infinity. Yeah. So, overall, I'm going to give the Wonderful 101 a 5 out of 10. It's not absolute shit. It's a decent game, but it could have been a whole hell of a lot better. Definitely had a lot of room for improvement. So, that's where we're going to end this review video. I'm Original Blood Ice. More videos coming soon, as always.